What's up, Bears? Eric here, and I'm laughing because it is a glorious day. It is a glorious day on YouTube. I'm having a lot of fun with this. So what I'm laughing about is, as you can see the videos over here, is watching the most toxic parts of YouTube lose their collective minds, their hive minds, over getting rightfully called out by Nick Fury himself, Samuel L. Jackson. And this is from, I guess, a few days ago, but I wanted to wait before I made this video to see if they were going to do pretty much what I expected them to do, which was make a bunch of videos crying and complaining that they were called out, because it's just predictable at this point. But let's just kind of scroll through here a little bit. Like all of the usual suspects, are, look, he goes after fans. You guys still don't understand the difference between fans and people that are just haters. Like, if you don't like something and you explicitly have said you don't like something, you're not a fan of it. You're simply not a fan. You didn't like the Captain Marvel movie. You don't like Brie Larson. Where is the fan in that? Where's the fan? Because you genuinely like Marvel stuff? That's not enough. You're not a fan of Captain Marvel or Brie Larson. And that's exactly what he was calling out. And I love that they put these like explicit, like, F the fan. Like, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. But they love to do that because that is how they convince their viewers to get on board with this. There's been times where people that have watched them saw or heard them repeat tweets from like marketing and companies like with Star Wars and stuff, where they believed that they actually said that. They believed that that was what the people at Star Wars said about the fans, because they do such a bad job of relaying what's actually said. We're going to look at the actual quote. He didn't say that. He's very specific about who he's talking about. He's very specific. Who he's talking about over here. Let's look at the quote. Samuel L. Jackson stands by Brie Larson against toxic Marvel fans. Again, using the fan term, not accurate here. Incel dudes who hate strong women won't destroy her, which, I mean, is pretty true. She hasn't disappeared from the world. Matter of fact, she's still working. She's still got a career. So I think that bothers them more than anything. Addressing Larson's online haters, Jackson said she's not going to let any of that stuff destroy her. These incel dudes who hate strong women, or the fact that she's a feminist who has an opinion and expressed it, everybody wants to be who they want to be. She is who she is, and she's genuinely that. That is what he said. Nowhere in there does he say, fuck the fans. That's nowhere in there. Not even remotely close to what he said. He says that he is not going to let all of these people who have been talking shit about her destroy her. And he also calls out the reason why people don't like her, which is the truth. If you were to ask any of these folks why they don't like her, they'll say because she's a feminist and she says things they don't like, which is exactly what he says in this fucking article. She's a feminist who has an opinion and expressed it. And that makes them so mad that he actually called them out on what they do constantly. And when I say constantly, that is not hyperbole. That is not a hyperbolic statement. These channels, a lot of these channels, built their channels on the hate of Brie Larson and Captain Marvel. Look, if you look now, let's just take a look. I got a few windows open here. Look at this. This is RK. Look at this. Look. Look at this. Look at he is obsessed with Brie Larson. He is obsessed. He makes more Brie Larson videos than actual fans of Brie Larson do. And they're all hateful videos. She could breathe and he would make a negative video about her. She could walk into the grocery store. He would make a negative video about her. She could simply be standing in a room and he would make a negative video about her. He does not like her, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Here we go. More toxic stuff about Brie Larson. More toxic stuff about Brie Larson. More toxic stuff about Brie Larson. These folks are obsessed with Brie Larson. They're obsessed with her. And he is saying that he does not care. She does not care. And that makes them more mad than anything. And you can see already they hate being called out on what they're doing. They can't stand being called out on things that they've actually said about her. And the best part about it is Samuel L. Jackson doesn't give a fuck about them. And he never will. And I love it. I love when someone stands by their friend, stands by their coworker, and says what they can't. Because Brie Larson couldn't say anything like this to them because all they would do is spin it and turn it into more anti-Brie Larson stuff. I love the fact that he did this without her being there, defending her when she's not around to a bunch of people that were going to react the way that they reacted. I absolutely love it. I think it's boss energy. It's big, big, big shit for Samuel L. Jackson to stand up and do this. And let's be fair here. Let's take a look at Captain Marvel, a movie that they said was going to be a massive flop. They spent months and months and months trying to say it was going to flop. It ended up doing over $1 billion. Regardless of whether or not you believe financially successful movies have anything to do with whether something is successful creatively is irrelevant. From the standpoint of the studio, the movie made money, and that's all that matters. It was a success. As a quote from Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson over here. It says, according to him, and much in the way the Marvels expected to do, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and Little Maid feature diverse characters and fantasy movies transports audiences away from the reality of crap that we have to deal with. And this is what his quote had to say. I think it's fantastic. We're going to wrap it up here. And I think the significance of characters that have been in those things that people care about in a specific kind of way speaks to why Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse movie is making so much money right now. Why not, you know? It should. And Miles Morales is somebody that's different from Peter Parker because it can be and should be. You hear people fussing about it. Oh, Black Little Mermaid. Mermaids aren't real. They can be black, they can be green, they can be orange. They're not real things. But representing it and giving people a fantasy life for something that takes them away from reality of the crap, taking away from the reality of the crap that we have to deal with any day in, day out of, you know, mass shootings, robberies, homelessness, all these other things, we still need an outlet. And that is what I think is the most important. And that is what a lot of these channels miss and do not understand. They typically just go for outrage clicks, anger clicks, and things like that. And for some reason, YouTube keeps feeding into it and pushing it out to people. And I wish that YouTube would understand how its algorithm is being manipulated and used, not just in our spectrum with superhero stuff, but in general on the platform. But thank you, Samuel L. Jackson, for calling this out. And I'm so happy and excited that all of the usual suspects, the people that he was talking to that are not fans of Captain Marvel and Brie Larson, took it hyper offensively because guess what? It was about you.